Welcome to Iowa Live. I am Lou. Yep, I am back behind the desk after some much needed time off, and very interesting, taking some time off when you haven't done so for a while. Ran into a couple of people that want to know if I retired or not, and I said no, not necessarily, just taking a couple of breather days here, and that is perfect because it is time to chat with our good friend Loren Merkle from Merkle Retirement Planning. And that was interesting, Loren, after not taking some time off for a while, just seeing what it's like in case retirement does come around.
I bet it was interesting, Lou. We talk about test driving your retirement quite a bit. And so you got a little bit of a taste of what retirement would really look like, which I think is healthy. It gives a healthy perspective of this is what it might look like to not go into work on a daily basis. And then you can identify, does that really work for you right now? Or maybe is now not the best time?
Yeah, that's very true. And just trying to fit everything you want to get accomplished in a day seems to be a task. You say, if you're not working, you should be able to get everything in, but that's not necessarily the case. But one of the things I was really concerned with, even with a little time off, is that how am I paying for these things that I wanted to do? And that's what we're talking about here today, is how to set yourself up for retirement.
Yeah, many of our families who have retired, they come back to us and they say, we're not sure how we found time to work when they were working with just the day-to-day activities that you find yourself engaged in retirement. And that's actually a good thing, because then you know that you have a lot of things to fill your day during retirement. You're not just sitting around and kind of withering away. So I think that's a good, and that's part of that lifestyle plan that we talk about, is what is going to fill your activities, your daily time, and what's going to keep you engaged in the world. And that's just as important as all the financial part. And the lifestyle plan, what you plan on spending your day-to-day time with, is also going to determine how do you afford it, right? Where's the money going to come from the retirement savings that you have, from all the different Social Security strategies? Maybe you have a pension. How are you going to be able to afford those day-to-day activities? And especially then we bring in the tax environment and legislative changes with the infrastructure bills, legislative changes that come with the tax bill changes. All that kind of stuff will go into what your spendable income is. So you have your gross income, just like when you're working, but then you still have to take tax out of that, and that's that spendable income that's really going to determine how you're going to pay for these day-to-day activities that you're going to be engaged in.
Right, so you really need to pay attention to everything that surrounds you, including what happens in Washington. You mentioned the $1 trillion infrastructure bill that went through. How is that going to affect what people that are looking ahead toward retirement? How is it going to affect them?
Well, there's a lot of things in that bill. There's going to be a lot of things coming out and some new proposed legislation that could get passed, not get passed. The big takeaway from all of those bills is our spending has never been higher. There was a $1 trillion bill here, $1 trillion bill here, $2 trillion bills here. The spending has never been higher. If we look at what our gross domestic product to debt ratio is, it's 124%. And it's never been higher since World War II. So we have to go all the way back to World War II, since the amount of debt we have versus the amount of goods and services that we produce, that ratio has never been higher. So we're going to have to pay back that debt. And the way we're going to pay back that debt is by increased taxes. And there's a lot of different ways that the government can increase our taxes. But one of the number one ways that most pre-retirees and retirees are worried about is the taxation that comes from the income that they take from their IRAs and their 401k plans. So those are some things that you should be focused on right now, is how are you still putting money into it? Meaning, are you continuing to put money into it on a pre-tax basis, or are you taking advantage of the Roth 401 or the Roth IRA that you may have available to you as well? All of these things need to be considered, and it's not like you have to pay attention to on a day-to-day basis of what the new legislation is, but you should have a plan. You should have a plan in place for future tax hikes, tax increases in the future, and how you're going to pay for the taxes or increase your spendable income that's being delivered from these different retirement resources that you have.
Now, is that what they call legislative risk involving all your finances?
Yeah, legislative risk, and we've seen this play out over the last couple of years. The Secure Act that was passed in December of 2019 had an impact on your legacy plans, had an impact on how your kids are going to receive the money once you pass away. The 2016 tax changes is what the legislative tax changes also was a risk or incorporated some different strategies that now you're going to have to look at completely different than what you would have in 2015. And then, of course, in 2021, there's a lot of legislative changes that will take place and will continue to take place. So legislative risk is a real thing that you have to incorporate within your overall retirement plan, because a lot of times that legislative risk will spill over into your tax risk, which spills over into how much you get to spend from the money that you receive income
All right,
from.
sounds like people need to have a conversation with you, Loren. What's the easiest way they can do that?
The easiest way is go to merkleplan.com. You can sign up for a complimentary 15-minute retirement checkup phone call where you just have 15 minutes to talk with a retirement planner about what your retirement situation is. What are you concerned about? What kind of tax strategies should you be implementing right now to save more money in the form of taxation from the income sources that you have available to you? Again, that's merkleplan.com.
And don't forget about going to the YouTube channel and check out Merkle Retirement Planning on YouTube. Loren Merkle, great to see you as always, and we will talk to you next time.
Great to see you, Lou.